General shop safety.
So, first things first, when you're climbing things, like the burger pallets, for instance, whenever you're climbing something, you have to make sure that you have 3 limbs touching the surface at once, because that way you know you won't fall down and, break something or die. I don't know if legal this year. For things like the lift, in general, just don't use it. If you are going to be using it, make sure that all of your loose odds and ends and any loose clothing and stuff is secure. Make sure that you are with someone who is lift certified when you're using it. I am not, so I'm not going to use a lift. Whenever the lift is moving, you have to call it out to everyone so that everyone knows that it is. Try not to get murdered while using the lift. Okay, so when getting stuff down from high places like this, because the person up here is going to need to be able to use all of their hands and feet to be able to get down safely, you want to have a person, so can you come down over here? You want to take whatever it is you are dropping from up high, and you want to give them a countdown, so 3, 2, 1, and then you just drop it so that they can catch it safely. And
Jesse, can we have some proof of life? Yay!
It's alive! Woo! And then I can climb down without breaking my bones. So when getting something from up above in the door loft, typically we use the lift, but if we cannot use the lift to get up there, you want to make sure that you are secure when climbing up. There are metal rungs on the side of this that you can almost kind of use as a ladder. Typically, do not climb things unless you have permission to. I am the resident monkey here, so I have permission to climb things. But you want to make sure that whatever you are stepping on, you have a secure and stable footing, and once you are up here, you're not like standing and jumping around. You never climb on this. There are handprints up here, but that is the most that there is up here, and there's the most that there will be up here.
So Kai, how will we get something down from up there?
Typically, we have the lift up here as well, and we will pick it up and put it into the lift. I'm not going to take this down because we didn't ask Miss Stephanie if we could, but I could theoretically have 2 people down there and slowly lower it, or get another person up here with me to help slowly lower it and use 3 or 4 people at once to safely get it down from up here.
Super!
Yay! Don't touch! Okay, so when a lot of the time in the shop you will have to get up higher places, a lot of the time you will be using a ladder when doing so. The first thing with your ladder is you want to make sure that it's stable and not wobbling around. So you want to make sure that all 4 are on the ground as secure as they can be. And you want to make sure that these are not up like this, but they are down and they are flat. Because otherwise, if it is up like this, it could, if both of them are up, it could move together and collapse while you are on it. And then the next thing is, you want to have another person on the other side of your ladder holding it down and making sure it is stable. You want them to have their foot on the bottom rung at least. And then you make sure you are holding onto the sides as you climb up, and you really only go as high up as you need to. Don't go any higher, don't mess around on them. So if I was doing something with this light, I would really only need to be here because I can reach it just fine without having to go up higher than I need to. You are not supposed to stand on the top, and you are not supposed to climb the other side of it. The only parts you are supposed to stand on are the flat metal parts right here. Do as I say, not as I do.
Hey guys, welcome to the paint shop. So we're gonna talk about rules here. So when you get a can, always have 2 hands, never 1 hand, and make sure the top isn't off, because kids put away the tools with the tops off all the time, and it spills, and it would just make your whole life miserable. With some of them, like these, it's easy to twist off, while these big boys here, you have to get a paint key where, and after you're done, make sure the paint is always in here, tops are closed off tightly, and then you just close it if you can. For the cans, you get a hammer and you slam it on. Just be careful not to break your fingers, because the school won't cover your bills. These bad boys here is where you put your paint at and the top. So like if you're mixing paint, you just put it in here, put the top on, very closed, so it does dry out and then you can use it again. But make sure you don't lose it, or someone will take the paint, wash it in there, throw it away, or something stupid, and you will have to hunt them down. This paint will get on your clothes and you cannot wash off. And so just use a paint coat if you want to, unless you're willing to risk it. Then
Or have pink clothes.
Or if you bring paint clothes.
paint clothes, yeah.
Bring paint
Either one of
clothes.
those two.
Trust me.
So with our brushes, as you can see, they've been through lots of wars in Vietnam, probably.
Probably.
Paint, never take as much, like just scoop where it's like falling off. Always take a little bit and then brush it on the whatever you're doing, because if you take a lot, you're just wasting a lot. And honestly,
Okay, back it up. Okay, when you're washing these, use your hand. Your hand, your best friend, okay? You cannot just run this underwater and expect it to be clean, okay? It doesn't work like that.
Tell 'em about the clear water.
Against the bottom of the sink under the water,
Yes.
so that it like aggressively.
Here, we have a sink. Here, multiple ways to wash. You can go like this, it gets the paint out. You can go like this, it gets the paint out. Not run your brush only under the water. It will not get clean. It will be crunchy. You cannot use it and you will ruin all of our brushes. Do not do that.
Friends, family, and loved ones, I also have an announcement. If you get paint in your eyeballs or something of some sort that you do not want in your eyeballs, there is this. It's an eye washing station. I don't know if it even still works, I'm gonna be so honest. So just
We're gonna need to see a demonstration, Kai.
no.
and if you do ruin our brushes, we will kidnap you, tie you down, and cut your hair and use them
Like
for
Hart.
brushes.
Exactly like Hart.
So please, if you don't want that to happen to you or a loved one, then don't ruin our brushes.
All right, hi everyone. Welcome to the tool cage. As you can see, most of what is in here is drills. We use them a lot, okay? When you take a battery out, make sure it matches the drill you're gonna put it in. When you're done with it, put it back on the charger. It's not that hard. If they don't charge, we can't use them, which is bad for business, guys. I have drill bits right here. You see how they're all nice and organized? Please put them back when you're done with them, exactly where they're supposed to go. Yes. Great. We have a variety of other things here. If a general rule of thumb, if you don't know what it is, don't touch it. If you don't know how to use it, don't touch it.
What's that on the ground?
A fan? I don't know what that is.
So wires. Say, make sure you wrap up your wires before you put them away.
Okay. On the ground here, we have a bunch of wires. Please wrap them up before you put them away. They shouldn't be on the ground everywhere. Okay. I'm gonna have to cut bits here. Okay.
Oh, don't worry. I'm doing an airplane transition effect.
Now, we have a variety of other tools in here. A lot of them can be dangerous. Please do not use them as weapons. We don't approve of that. Here, we have hammers, saws, a variety of other things. Please, put them back in their correct places when you're done with them. Also, again, do not threaten people. Okay. Screwdrivers, other variety of tools. If you don't need them, don't pick them up. And if you're going to use them, put them back in their proper place. Over here, we have a variety of screws, other things, a variety of lengths.
This is the junk drawer cabinet.
Yes, we do not use it very often, but if you do, again, put them back. But generally, just don't come over here. You're not going to need to.
Welcome to Saw Safety. Today we're going to start with some general saw safety. There are a few saw safety things you have to have on your body to make sure you're always safe. Let's start with glasses. You must always wear glasses. You always have to make sure that your hair is up and your shoes are closed. If I was wearing an excessively baggy shirt, then I might have a problem and need to switch into something else or tie it back. I might consider taking a jacket like this off as well when I do cutting because of the strands around the neck that could get cut in the saw and drag me towards it. Kai, if Kai wanted to saw, they would need to put shoes on. Now Kai doesn't own any shoes, so they are not allowed to saw, only paint. But if you did want to saw, you have to put some closed-toed shoes on, like these ones. You shouldn't wear Crocs in the shop. Keaton. Now that you're ready to make your cut, you need to prepare your piece of wood. Now you have to take your switch off. When you have prepared to make your cut, you should always measure twice, cut once. I want to make a cut of exactly 6 inches. when I'm preparing my line, I will line my tape measure up to the edge of my piece of wood and then flex it the other way. This is just how I do it. You don't necessarily have to do it like this. And then I'll put a dot right where my measurement is, right at 6 inches. I put a dot right on that big 6-inch line and then pull out. As you can see, this isn't a clean line, but you can see the dot where the exact 6-inch mark is. Then I'll flag into my waist. So when I go to cut this, I remember where my line is, and then I have pretty much a clear arrow pointing to that exact point, and I can remember where my waist is because of this flag. When you're making your cut, you always want to put your blade into the waist to make sure that you're not accidentally cutting your piece of wood too short. As you can see, this miter saw has a saw width of about a 1/16 of an inch. So when you hold your piece, come on, time. Hold it tight against this back wall, using a hand to push down and in to your fence here. And then lower your blade, and using your eyes, place it into the waist. It's hard to do this, but you'll get used to it over time, where you can look down the blade and in your mind project where the bottom line of the saw will continue to go. So I'm gonna look at my blade, I'm looking at this bottom tooth, which is touching the wood. I'm imagining where it would line up on the rest of the piece of wood, and I'm putting that right next to where my line was. So my blade is in the waist, but right against where I need my cut to be. Finally, we always want to make sure before we saw that we have a vacuum set up. You always want to have a vacuum nearby your saw so you're not creating a bunch of sawdust waste everywhere, because it's harder to clean than it looks. Do a cut on the miter saw. Use your thumb to unlock the safety lock by pushing it either way, and then gripping over this and pulling into the lever at the top here.
Hi, so now we will be moving on to first aid. As you can see, our first aid thing is located over here by the garage door, and now we open it. There's a whole bunch of band-aids in case, well, you get cut or something. Yeah.
In case Nora needs them.
Yeah, specifically Nora.
I have low iron.
Antiseptic wipes, a bunch of first aid things in case you need it. Or if you don't know what to do, ask someone for help. Somebody else for help.
What do we do when we inevitably get a bunch of splinters?
What do I do with my splinters?
Tweezers. Right here.
Hell yeah.
Get a friend to help you tweeze.
Yeah, get a friend. Get a tweezer friend.
What if I cut my finger off?
Basically, don't be an idiot. Don't be like my cousins that throw scissors at people. Just don't be like them.
If you cut your hand off, call Nora first so she can take pictures for the meme page. End.
ahead.